Today I'm going to show you how to vacuum up those fine particles in your above ground pool. Pretty easy. A couple years ago I bought this Intex automatic pool vacuum. It's really appealing looking online, but it's freaking worthless. Don't buy one. But I am going to use one piece of it to show you how to vacuum up the fine particles in the bottom of my pool. And that is the hose that came with it right here, and the adapter to the hose, which I'll show you later. Vacuuming those fine particles off the bottom of your pool, it's pretty easy. All you need are a few things. The hose I was showing you from the automatic pool, you could probably find an Intex hose on Amazon. It'll fit. You just need the adapter that goes from the hose to the vent or the output of your jet. This time we're going to use an input, but it's meant for the output. And then also I got one of these pool vacuums here from Lowe's. I can't remember how much it was. I'm thinking it was $25 or less even. These pool vacuums are actually really great. This is what they look like. And this one actually comes with two of these nets here. They have collars. And these nets capture the debris, the heavier debris, like pine needles and leaves and stuff. And so normally what I would do is I use this first with this capture, and you put a garden hose in here and put your big long pool pole here, and it shoots a jet of water that shoots out this way underwater, and that creates suction here, and that will suck up all of the larger pieces, your leaves and pine needles and stuff like that. I'll go over the bottom of the pool with this and the garden hose first, and then I will modify it and pick up the finer particles. And to pick up the finer particles, we're going to use the suction from your vacuum attached to your sand filter. Now this will put a lot of fine debris at the top of your sand and your sand filter. So after doing this, I'll backwash and rinse. But this is the only way to get that really fine dirt and sand off the bottom of your pool. It might not annoy you, but I'm kind of anal when it comes to the look and cleanliness of my pool, so I can't stand it. Simply using this will get all the big stuff, but the fine particles will go through this mesh. So let me show you what I'm going to do next. For this, I'm just going to use the head of the vacuum. I'm going to take the whole garden hose and net collection apparatus off. It just slides off like that. So now I'm left with the vacuum head. This is where the suction from the pool filter and pump will be, and this is where I will attach the pole. Now, it doesn't exactly fit, so I'm going to take this hose that's going to be connected to the pool and filter, and try not to look like a fool on camera while just using duct tape to tape this together. This is kind of a MacGyver method, poor man's method. I'm sure you can buy a product that does all of this online, but I needed a solution one day right away because I was having people over and I wanted my pool to look great, and I couldn't wait for the Amazon delivery, and frankly, I didn't want to spend any more money. And so this is a good way to come up with this solution. While you watch me tape, there it is. So now let's go out to the pool and I will show you how I attach it to the pool, and we'll start vacuuming. First, I'm going to start by taking the other end of the hose, and I'm going to put this adapter onto the intake valve, one of the intake valves of my filter. And once I put this adapter in, it screws in like that. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, I'll walk around to the pool. First, let's get this out of here. So, here's the bare intake valve. I'm going to put this adapter onto the intake valve. Now, here's the other end of the hose. Now let me go grab the vacuum and the pole. Here we go. Like that. Pull it in. I'll go stand. Reach. Cool. And now I'm going to turn on the filter and pump. You can set your filter to do waste and have this all go out your side instead of running it through your filter. I'm choosing to run it through my filter because I'm confident in my high capacity sand filter, and this pump is pretty powerful and I don't want to pump out too much water. It pumps out 3,100 gallons per hour. So I'm just going to run it through the filter and turn the pump on. Takes a second, that's the air out. Go back. Here are some more sandy spots. Doing this one-handed. You can see the pump is just sucking all of that stuff up. That's how we get a nice clean floor. Usually trouble areas are like around the base of the ladder, etc. So like down here under the ladder, there's some stuff here. And it just whoop, vacuums it all up. Now I had a comment on one of my other pool videos where I showed you how to read your chemical analysis report and some good alternatives for pool store chemicals, and that video is kind of blowing up right now, and this comment made me laugh. The guy said something like, "That's not a pool, that's just water with some plastic wrapped around it." I had to chuckle. Yeah, it's not an in-ground pool, you know. Of course I'd love to have an in-ground pool, but you know, first of all, I'm in an area where it wouldn't really make sense climate-wise because we'd probably only get 3-4 months out of it. And then it would cost a lot to heat it. But I just can't afford to put a in-ground pool in my backyard. Maybe someday. Someday I'll get that dream property and have a big pool, in-ground pool, and power it with some solar water heater. But anyway, that made me laugh. I can imagine that guy, you know, kind of a Crocodile Dundee. "That's not a pool. That's just water with plastic around it." I don't know if the guy's Australian or not, but he is in my mind. Anyway, shout out to Pool Heckler. He's my first one. Probably a good guy though. Anyway, this is how we do this and get the bottom nice and clean. And then, you know, it just takes a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes to vacuum the bottom. And then 30 seconds for my kids to make it not clean anymore. But hey, this is why we do it. Here's a zoomed in view of how it fits. So the hose goes on this adapter here, and then this adapter unscrews. And then put the little guard back over the adapter. And the pool's ready to be normal again. Now let's just rinse and backwash, get all that crud out that we vacuumed up. Oh, I'll get that later. So I can put on to rinse. No, I'm sorry, backwash. Backwash first. I like to do this a couple times. I like to then rinse. Can you see what I mean by how much water this pump pulls out? I don't want to empty my pool when vacuuming it. Let's do one more little backwash. I think that's going to be good. Rinse. And we'll put on filter mode. There wasn't much in there from that vacuuming. Here we go. Everything's looking good. And most importantly, let's look at the pressure gauge. It's in the green. All right. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure you like this and subscribe and comment and help me blow up. That'd be awesome. All right. Have a great summer, everybody. And by the way, I just wanted to mention that my star jasmine vine is absolutely insane this year. It is blown up with blooms and it makes the whole backyard smell super fragrant and super nice. If you ever see one of these at the garden center, get one and plant it. You'll never regret it.